After picking up a strong win over Paulo Costa, Arnold Allen wasted no time making his next move known. He's calling out Yair Rodriguez. Allen made it clear there's unfinished business between the two, pointing out that the UFC has already tried to put this fight together multiple times, but it keeps falling through for one reason or another. Meanwhile, Alexander Volkanovski has also been vocal about who he wants next, and his answer is Movsar Evloev. Volk explained that part of the motivation stems from his desire to avenge his loss to Islam Makhachev, noting how dominant the Dagestani and Chechen wrestling styles have become inside the UFC, with many fighters still struggling to find an answer for that kind of sustained pressure. It's worth noting, however, that Evloev isn't actually Dagestani or Chechen, he's English. That said, his fighting style closely mirrors the grappling-heavy, pressure-based approach commonly associated with fighters from those regions. With Allen chasing Yair and Volkanovski setting his sights on Evloev, the featherweight division is clearly heating up again, with several high-level stylistic matchups being pushed forward at once, including a potential Aljamain Sterling versus Lerone Murphy fight. Alright, let's hear what Allen had to say.
So you've got Movsar's probably going to fight Volk. Diego Lopez, he's going to fight against the White House. I'm saying. You got Aljo.
Yeah, I think making him fight Lerone and I'll fight Yair, just because we've got history.
Yeah. Why have you got history with Yair?
Just because we've been trying to make us fight for a while now, and it just never comes out. Like, first time I was injured, they offered me the fight, I was out injured. Then they tried to remake it, he was out, he was injured. I just like, it's got to happen.
So, let's make this happen.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to fight Yair Rodriguez. You're going to talk some shit, Arnold. That's how you get these big fights. Make a wild, outrageous statement about Yair Rodriguez that clearly isn't true.
You put a fucking AI figure there and just has to...
Will you not talk any shit? Will you not say, listen, I'll beat the shit out of this guy?
But that's just not me. I don't know.
No, I know.
Jon Anik and Kenny Florian recently discussed the shift from Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler to McGregor versus Max Holloway, and both agreed that the change actually makes the matchup more meaningful from a sporting perspective. Rather than a straightforward comeback showcase, McGregor now returns against a former rival with genuine history between them, adding real weight to his comeback at UFC 329 on July 11th. When McGregor steps back into the octagon, it will mark the third longest layoff in UFC history. His last appearance came at UFC 264 in 2021, meaning this return comes almost exactly 5 years later. Jorge Masvidal also weighed in, pointing to lifestyle as a potential deciding factor. He drew a clear contrast between the two fighters, highlighting how McGregor's well-documented party lifestyle differs significantly from Holloway's focused and disciplined approach. According to Masvidal, Holloway operates on a straightforward routine centered around training, family, and consistent time in the gym, a far cry from the chaos often associated with McGregor. Masvidal believes that difference alone could be what decides this fight, particularly after such a long absence from competition. Alright, let's hear what Anik had to say.
The ship had sailed on McGregor versus Chandler, right? They're trying to put forth a more consequential fight than that.
Yes.
Now,
I'm so glad they're doing that, by the way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now, Conor would plausibly be favored against Michael Chandler. Here, he's a plus 310 underdog. I think what Kenny and I are just talking about, and this is not me shilling.
Yeah.
We believe there's a competitive spirit there that is leading the dance when it comes to his return. And even if his own dreams about what this return could be maybe sound aspirational to us, if he thinks about like Islam Makhachev or something, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that he performs very well against Max and potentially gets a knockout. And I don't think he should be plus 310. So I don't know, but you know, your lack of enthusiasm, I'm not going to let it necessarily curb mine, but I don't know.
Dana White has confirmed that the UFC already has backup plans in place for virtually every potential issue surrounding the upcoming White House event. The historic card is set to take place in an open-air setup, and fans have been wondering how the promotion plans to handle weather and other logistical challenges, and according to Dana, they've already covered all of it. White says the biggest concern right now is lightning, given that the venue will be without a roof. He made it clear the UFC has already prepared solutions and contingency protocols in case of storms or lightning on fight night. Another topic that came up, and one that might surprise you, is the sheer volume of gnats and moths in the area around the venue. Dana acknowledged that insects could absolutely become a factor once the lights are on at night, but once again insisted the UFC is actively working on ways to minimize the problem so it doesn't affect the fights or the broadcast.
We have to worry about the weather, right? How cold is it? Is it too hot? Is it too muggy? does it rain? The only thing that can really crush us is lightning.
Yep.
You know, everybody, you all have kids that have played soccer or whatever. As soon as lightning hits,
shut it down.
It's a wrap. Everybody's got to go hide, and then you can't go. So if lightning happens that night, we'll wait out the lightning until it goes away.
Yep.
And we'll do the show a little bit later, or however that plays out. Hopefully none of that shit happens. The other problem that I always think about, especially on the East Coast, bugs.
Yeah.
So the amount of gnats that were flying around, I'm like, holy shit. As soon as I got on the plane, I called my head of production and said, yeah, let me tell you about the gnat situation tonight.
Khamzat Chimaev's team has just made a significant announcement. According to Aslan Badayev, a member of Chimaev's corner who was in his corner during the Strickland fight, Khamzat's next opponent will be Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. With Strickland currently dealing with injuries and any potential rematch likely requiring a lengthy wait, the decision was made to keep Chimaev active rather than having him sit on the sidelines. The long-term light heavyweight plans remain very much alive, but the immediate priority is to get back on track at 185 pounds and re-establish his standing at the top of the middleweight division. Inside the camp, both Arman Tsarukyan and members of Chimaev's team have emphasized that the loss to Strickland won't derail anything long-term. They're already dissecting the mistakes from that fight with the intention of coming back sharper and stronger. This decision also reshapes the broader light heavyweight picture. A potential matchup with Paulo Costa at 205 is now likely on hold, possibly indefinitely, especially with Carlos Ulberg expected to return from injury within the year. That timeline opens the door for a different set of contenders and could shift how the 205-pound division develops, while Chimaev refocuses at middleweight.
Хамзат, Борз, не забываем об этом. Честно, он очень особенный боец, и вокруг него его аура, которую многие считают сейчас спадет, я с ними не согласен. Он просто вернется, оторвет кому-нибудь голову и будет биться за пояс. Я не верю, что ему сразу дадут титульный бой. Я считаю, что он должен провести один поединок. Он заслуживал и сразу немедленного реванша. Но учитывая проблемы со здоровьем у Стрикланда, я думаю, затянется это все. Кhamzat пока может разобраться с Эрнандесом. Я считаю, что Khamzat свою работу сделает. Вот. Нужно делать выводы из тех ошибок, которые он допустил, а ему они будут виднее, чем нам. Всегда, вы заметили, когда кто-то проигрывает, всегда вот специалисты скатываются к тому, что вот у него нет тренера, ему нужно это сделать, ему то нужно сделать. Мы никогда не знаем наверняка, что там внутри произошло. А если бы победу отдали Khamzatу, мы бы все говорили, какой классный тренер Коловита, какой классный секундант Арман Tsarukyan, и как все круто было, правильно?
Paulo Costa has issued a direct and unambiguous warning to Khamzat Chimaev about the possibility of moving up to light heavyweight, calling it a tragic decision if it ever happens. The comments came off the back of Costa's impressive knockout win in his light heavyweight debut, with his physicality and power at the new weight class immediately becoming a major talking point. Responding to the ongoing speculation that Chimaev would have moved to 205, had he beaten Strickland, Costa made his position crystal clear. He actually wants Chimaev to make that move, but only because he believes it will go badly for him. Costa described himself as a completely different fighter at light heavyweight. Unlike at middleweight, he no longer needs to cut muscle or sacrifice strength, and he says he feels like a far more dangerous version of himself at 205. He doubled down on the idea that a matchup between the two would be tragic for Chimaev, citing the size and power advantage he now carries at the heavier weight class. The two already share unresolved history. A fight between them was previously booked before falling apart at UFC 294. Since then, Costa has consistently kept the pressure on publicly, and this latest warning keeps that rivalry very much in the conversation, even as both men currently operate in different divisions. Now let's roll some footage of Paulo Costa sparring at light heavyweight.
Damn. Boa, Paulo. Isso.
That's it from MMA Time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA updates.